Am I wrong for embarrassing my father-in-law after I repeatedly asked him to explain his joke to me? I, 27 female, used to be an escort, a hooker, from when I was 18 until I was 23. I am not proud of it, but I also don't give an F because I did what I had to do to keep studying and a roof over my head. That's how I met my now fiance, 37 male, though he was never my client. We began to date when I was 25, and 3 or 4 months in after that, his brother-in-law exposed me. No idea how he found out, because there's no way my fiance knew, and thus we had to come clean in front of his whole family. Yes, I did that. Yes, he knows. Yes, he doesn't care. It was 2 years ago at that time. We got over it. After that, there was a span of 3 to 4 months in where my mother-in-law and some of my fiance's aunts and cousins policed their husbands when I was around. It was really weird, to be honest, because these dudes were like 40 to 60 years old and I wasn't that desperate. So my fiance shut their bullshit hard, and even when his family still gives me the side-eye from time to time, we thought it was behind us. He proposed last year, and 5 months ago we found out that I was pregnant. We were really happy about it, and we told his family as soon as we knew. His sisters and younger brother were happy for us, but his mom took me aside and begged me to be honest with her and asked if it was really my fiance's child. I was taken aback, but I just rolled my eyes and said yes. She gave me some shitty speech about how she only wanted to make sure. Like, you would tell her, like, what, even if it wasn't his, you think you're gonna tell his mom, like, yeah, he doesn't know, but it's not his baby. Dummies. Well, last weekend we were at his parents with his family, and some of his friends were talking about the name, how he might look, just small talk. And my father-in-law said that he and his children have a birthmark in the inner thigh, and that even his grandchildren, one of my sister-in-law's kids too, got them. So our baby might too. And then he said, but how can we know from who he got it? It may as well be from me, my boy, or my brothers. And he and his brothers began to laugh. My fiance got mad, and before he could say anything, I said, I don't get it. And my father-in-law said, yeah, because it runs in the family. And I said, I don't get it. Why would he get it from you? And he began to get nervous and said, because, you know, it's just a joke. And I said, but I don't get it, and you all laugh. So explain. It got to the point that some of his friends said, hey, it's not funny. So he excused himself and left. Later, my fiance's brother-in-law came to me and said that I was wrong for embarrassing him like that in his own house, and that I knew what the joke was about, and because of my past, I shouldn't be surprised. Now they're all demanding that I apologize to my father-in-law. Hell no, don't you do it. Get out of here. Oh my, yuck. Yuck. I'm so sorry you have to go through yuck. Ugh, weird title already. Am I wrong for not agreeing to let my husband have a baby with another woman? Man, duh, of course, like what? Why? I, 32 female, am married to a great man, James, 36. He might not be so great if he's trying to get another girl pregnant, but let's get into it. Who is a sperm donor to his friend Miranda, 35 female, and her wife Vivian, 30 female. And they have a sweet little boy, and he is a very involved uncle. This all started before I was in the picture, and when I first started dating James, it felt a little weird at times, but grew to accept it because not all families are the same. Also, Miranda and Vivian are great. James and I have been married for a while and trying for a baby. Because of the pandemic, we decided to not actively try again until next year, but are still not using protection. Recently, Miranda approached James about being a donor again. He said that he needed to think about it and consulted me. And to be honest, I told him I was uncomfortable about the idea. Like I said, Miranda and Vivian's son was already in the picture before I came around, so I know I needed to accept it or leave. But now that I am his wife and trying to conceive myself, I just don't think that I can ever handle seeing another woman carry his baby. Very valid point, I agree with you. James understood my stance and suggested Miranda and Vivian find another donor or adopt. They refused, saying that they wanted their son to have a sibling that was related to him, and this time Vivian wanted to experience giving birth. This is... I don't know. I gotta pick my words carefully. This is kind of weird. James still refused, saying that he couldn't do it again. He tried to take all the blame, but I guess they were able to put 2 and 2 together and started asking me why I was so against them having a bigger family. I explained my reasons, and they said that I was being unreasonable and how my lack of pregnancy wasn't their fault. I mean, you didn't really make your case even better here. Like, this would make me want to say no even more, but go on. Since then, Miranda and Vivian have restricted access to their son, and I know that is starting to take a toll on James and his family, because their son is technically the only grandchild. I know that my reasons are purely selfish, but am I really in the wrong here? Okay, I take back what I said about your husband. He's a good man. He respected your wishes and he said no. Vivian and Miranda need an attitude check. They should be appreciative that he gave it to them the first time. Now they want to switch out who wants to get pregnant. Not his problem. Am I wrong for trying to talk my friend out of taking a paternity test? My friend Nick and his wife Jessie just had a baby. I'm close friends with both of them. The baby looks just like Nick. There's no question they are related. One of Nick's friends is a bit of a weird guy, and he brainwashed Nick into wanting to take a paternity test. Nick asked my advice on how to bring up this topic with his wife Jess. Oh, you don't, you psycho. I was shocked. I thought the relationship was good and they trusted each other, and the baby looks just like Nick. I started asking Nick questions as to why he thinks Jess cheated. What did she do that made him suspicious? He admitted that she didn't do anything, but he needs the test to be certain. So I told Nick that it's a bad idea and could really hurt Jess. She had an extremely traumatic birth, the baby was huge, she didn't get an epidural, and everything ripped. I think she might even have postpartum depression. What she needs is support and love and not accusations of cheating. He kept saying that he needs this to be certain and his wife should be understanding. So I asked him how he would feel if his wife asked for a paternity test for him and Anna's, his female best friend's, baby who was born last year. He said he would be really disappointed and just, and it would make him rethink their entire relationship, possibly even break them up. He said it's different because Jess doesn't have to spend money on and raise Anna's baby, thinking it's hers when it might not be. Nick is now mad at me for not supporting and helping him. He says that I'm a woman and I can never understand how it is to the father, and I'm not even trying to understand it, which is partially true. But I can say the same thing about him, that he is not even trying to understand how it is to be the mother, to be basically accused of cheating after such a traumatic birth. So did I step over a line? Am I the asshole? Oh my god, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked, because that's what I would do.
Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that I want my ex-husband to walk me down the aisle on our wedding day? I know this sounds messy, but hear me out. My ex and I were together for 7 years. We got together at 18, got married at 20, and divorced at 25. Our divorce didn't end up in bad faith. We just weren't compatible as a couple anymore, and we wanted to explore new things since we were glued together since we were 18. We remained good friends after the divorce. I met my current fiance at 26 and we got engaged 6 months ago. I am now 28 and my fiance is 29. First, I didn't know how to bring it up to him about how I'm still close friends with my ex-husband. I had introduced them to each other, but I never disclosed any details of mine and my ex's relationship because I was afraid that my fiance would not be okay with it and would make me choose. My ex and I decided to never let him know. But a couple months ago, during a family barbecue, an aunt of mine slipped up and revealed how I used to be married to my ex. My fiance wasn't happy about this and almost broke up with me. He started growing wary of mine and my ex's friendship and wasn't comfortable anymore. After many conversations, we both decided to establish some boundaries regarding this. Till now, we were fine. So our wedding is in a few months and the topic of who walked me down the aisle came up. My fiance asked if I'd have my parents or my brother walk me down the aisle, and while that was my original thought, I had another idea as well. I suggested that my ex-husband should give me away to him. Ex-husband to current husband, and it's kind of symbolic. He said he's not okay with this and I'm crossing a line at this point. He said he's tolerating the fact that I still have a close friendship with my ex even after I hid it from him for so long. He said I can do as I wish since who walks me down the aisle is my choice, but he'll never be okay with my decision. Am I in the wrong for wanting my ex-husband to walk me down the aisle?
Am I the asshole for refusing to take money from my daughter's college fund to pay for my stepdaughter's cancer treatment? I, female 36, have been married to my husband for 7 years. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 19-year-old stepdaughter who got diagnosed with cancer. Where we live, treatment is paid for and is expensive. My husband can't afford it on his own, so he asked me and I immediately agreed. I've pulled out what's left of my savings, sold jewelry, and family heirlooms to be able to help. I'm unable to help anymore and my salary barely gets us by as my husband no longer works. Now he's asked me to consider pulling money from my daughter's college fund. Am I the asshole for refusing to take money from my daughter's college fund to pay for my stepdaughter's cancer treatment? I was taken aback by the request and felt so uncomfortable when he said that because my daughter's college fund didn't come easy. I worked hard to be able to put it together and I have no energy to worry about how to get the money back. He didn't like my answer and got his family involved to convince me. He promised to get the money back in a year or two, and when I pointed out my daughter's academic process, he responded by saying health comes first. Him and my stepdaughter went to stay with his family, and he's saying that if I don't get my priorities straight, he'd rather stay with supportive, selfless people who want the best for his daughter. Am I the asshole for choosing to not get involved when my daughter threw away my wife's shampoo collection? I, 39, got married to my wife, Nellie, 36 months ago. Nellie and my daughter, 16, Megan, have never gotten along. They have lots of disagreements and have nothing in common, and it was obvious since the first day they met. I thought it would get better, but ever since we moved in together, it's gotten worse. Megan will throw her stuff away, and it's been basically a mouse and cat game. Nellie has special shampoo and conditioner for her sensitive hair, and she put them in the bathroom. Megan threw them away, saying she had no right to store them in the bathroom because it's not her house. Am I the asshole for choosing not to get involved when my daughter threw away my wife's shampoo collection? To keep the peace, I asked Nellie to just keep her stuff in the bedroom and take it with her whenever she wants to take a shower. She ended up agreeing, and last night Nellie took a shower and forgot her hair products in the bathroom. Megan ended up going in there and the shampoo collection was gone. Nellie freaked out and then they had a fight after Megan told her she dumped them out and she gave her a warning. Nellie broke down and I said I wanted to stay out of it, but she blew up at me. She said I keep letting Megan get away with bad attitude and unjustified behavior. I told her she should have been more careful.